Alright guys, today we are outside of Friendly's in North Haven, Connecticut. Today I'm filming a review of one of the last Friendly's in the state of Connecticut. So for those of you guys who don't know, Friendly's is a pretty big ice cream and fast casual dining chain in New England. At one point in time they were one of the largest ice cream and fast casual dining establishments in all of New England. Literally, from what I remember when I was a kid at least, you could go almost to any town in between New York City and Cape Cod and you could probably find one of these chains. In recent years, Friendly's has definitely shrunken a lot. I know they closed a lot of stores after the 2008 financial crisis and have kind of fallen on some hard times over the past decade, due to a poor leverage buyout and some other issues. But they're back and they seem to be doing pretty strong, especially coming out of COVID. So we're gonna go check them out. To give you guys some history on the chain, Friendly's was originally started in 1935 by two brothers, Curtis Blake and Presley Blake, with the goal of serving as a small regional ice cream parlor. The two brothers would open up their second restaurant in 1940, right before going off to fight in the Second World War. From here, the restaurant would close temporarily, only reopening at the end of the Second World War. From here, the chain would enter an era of relative rapid expansion, opening up roughly 10 restaurants by 1950, and then from here growing rapidly throughout the 1960s and 1970s, before being sold off to Hershey's Co. in 1979. From here, the brand would shift hands quite a bit before declaring bankruptcy in 2011, which would then lead us to where we are today. Overall, it was really cool to be back in a Friendly's. I haven't really been to one since the one in my hometown closed roughly 15 years ago. And when I kind of walked in and saw the old signs and stuff, for me, I felt like I was almost stepping into a time machine. I think ever since Friendly's first bankruptcy, there hasn't really been that much of an effort to change a lot of the signs or really the menu all that much. So when you do walk into one of these stores, you really do feel like you're almost back in 2011 due to how everything looks. Recently, the chain just went and finished celebrating their 99-year anniversary. And to celebrate it, they went and they created these really, really cool shirts. It's say Friendly's on them. See that right here? I got all these cool little decals. See if I can get that on frame. But yeah. Overall, I'm really happy to be here and checking out this chain and brand staple. They also gave out these really, really cool kind of sunglasses. Let's see if those, just got in frame. And overall, the restaurant is really clean. The staff here are some of the nicest people I've ever met in the restaurant industry. And overall, when I do a lot of these reviews, it's kind of rare that I ever come into a place unprompted that's this clean. But this restaurant, and I will give them a lot of credit, is very clean. And you know what, overall, from what I've seen, the quality of the food to this day, even not just because I'm biased, because of my own nostalgia and kind of memory of the chain, seems to be very, very, good quality. And overall, I'm really looking forward to trying some of the food that they have in store for us here. So after taking a look at the menu, here you can see some of the ice creams that they have. A lot of the art really hasn't changed probably since the early 90s, if I had to guess, just by kind of looking at it. I mean, it is kind of cool to look at these menus though, because it's rare that I go to a restaurant that has menus that are this colorful and this kind of unique. And for me, I thought that was kind of neat. If you look at the art, everything is very, very colorful and very expressive. Like, there are so many restaurants that you go into now where, like, they don't even leave pictures of the food on the menu, even. Or, it's just a black and white piece of paper that was, like, typed up in Microsoft Word. But here, I thought it was kind of cool that you have all this kind of, like, 1960s, kind of, like, retro futury kind of styled, like, diner text. You get all the different pictures of, like, their iconic sundaes and their chicken fingers and, like, the food that, they kind of want to promote. What we ended up going with was a fried haddock sandwich. The reason I chose to go with the fried haddock sandwich is because personally I was kind of feeling like seafood, and from what I remember, I just remember that being like a pretty solid menu option. Alright, so right now our food just showed up. I'm right here with the Friendly's fried haddock sandwich. To be honest, this is probably my favorite thing on the menu that these guys have. Let me just go and show you guys a quick picture of the food. So here is the food. Overall, the fries look amazing, and the sandwich is to die for. Honestly, I can't wait to bite into this thing. To be honest, the presentation is amazing. And honestly, if you do ever come to Friendly's, the 2 or the 3 must-have things are probably their hot dog, their mac and cheese, their fried haddock sandwiches, or their fish and chips, or the chicken tenders, which, to be honest, from what I remember from when I was a kid and from what most people say online, probably by far the best things on this menu. Alright, let's go try this sandwich. Here we go, first bite. That is a good sandwich. What about? There you go. That is the perfect fish sandwich. I don't care who you are, where you are from. If you want a fish sandwich, like a proper fried haddock sandwich, come to Friendly's. They did everything on this sandwich perfectly. Down to the type of sauce that they put on it, the cheese, and even the way that it's fried. Like, if you came to New England for one day and you wanted to try, like, traditional New England food, come to a Friendly's. The older I get, the more I start to appreciate restaurants like this more. Because in the modern day, like, state of, like, the culinary industry, everyone tries to be the same. You go to so many different restaurants. Like, if you go to a chain like Yard House, for example, right? In which, I think they're owned by Marriott or something. If you go to a chain like that, it's soulless. You come to a place like, here, it has a very distinct brand identity, and that's a good thing. I think too many restaurants nowadays are too scared of kind of like what people think or are going to say online. So as a result, they go and they try to just do whatever is the modern trend in the culinary industry, and that then takes away their identity. I think flat design, like health crazes have gone and like completely destroyed the uniqueness of the dining experience. I think, you know, brands like Friendly's that have like a brand image, they have like an item, you know, like they're known for their ice cream, they're known for their fried fish. You know, restaurants need to get back to having that identity. Because you'll see throughout this series, you know, I'll go to some places, you know, like, I'm not gonna knock on Applebee's, but you go to an Applebee's, right? That feels like 4 or 5 different, you know, fast casual, like, restaurant bars that you'll just see in the Midwest. You come here, and you feel like you're at Friendly's, and that's a good thing. And I can't stretch that enough. Another thing is, you know, the people here, like the staff, some of the nicest restaurant staff, man. I can't stretch that enough. Like, I've gone to so many other places where they're just busy, or, you know, they're stressed, so they may not always be that kind. These guys, I guarantee you could probably come during the lunch and dinner hours here. You know, granted, I think I caught them on a pretty good day. And the truth is, like, those types of places, they just throw you aside. You come here at rush hour, and they will treat you almost as if you're family, dude. Like, this restaurant, the people here are top tier, man. I can't even stretch that enough. We got the ice cream coming up next, and honestly, I can't wait to show you guys that. For the ice cream, I chose to go with the Monster Mash because I remember that being my favorite ice cream when I was a kid, and that plus this chain gave me a lifelong love in ice cream. Alright, so right now we're about to go and we're about to try the iconic Monster ice cream. Look at this guy. Look at this dude. Look at him. Take a bite.
That's my gift to you. I won't be here for yours either.
Things I miss about this restaurant the most, this ice cream and their sundaes is probably it. It's rare, I think, in 2025 that you can go to a restaurant and you can still get like an ice cream, like a proper sundae spoon like this, in a container like this. I don't know what it is, but I think ice cream genuinely does taste better coming out of these containers. Overall, the Monster Mash is one of my favorite ice creams of all time, and if you ever stop by a Friendly's, you definitely need to try it. Alright guys, that's all I have for this video. If you're ever in North Haven, Connecticut, or the greater New England area, and are looking for a family-friendly restaurant to take your kids to, or just kind of looking to try some traditional New England cuisine, I can't recommend Friendly's in North Haven, Connecticut enough. That's all I have for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching. If you guys have any other suggestions for older chain restaurants from the 1970s, 80s, or 90s, or early 2000s, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!